Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. This is going to be my full review and update of the CZ Scorpion. It is honestly probably now one of my favorite firearms in my collection, and it's sitting in a home defense role. It is basically a massive win. However, I'm going to get into a little bit of a downfall that I've had with the Scorpion that has since been fixed, but definitely something that I want to let you guys in on with this full review. So let's go ahead and start off with the one downfall that I've had with the Scorpion. You guys could have probably guessed it if you were already following me on my Instagram account, which you should. Go click the link down in the description and give it a follow. You'll be able to see things just come up a lot faster than in the videos to follow on here, my YouTube account. So these two magazines for my CZ have red tape on the bottom, and you can see they are pretty beat to all hell. They have cracks running through both the feed lips. This 20 rounder has cracks all along by the base plate there, and the cracks go up the back on the body of the magazine. This 30 rounder does not have cracks really along the body, some maybe here and there. The biggest is by the feed lips there. Believe it or not, the cracks on the feed lips were actually not done by me. That was kind of the nightmare that everybody's afraid of. It actually happened to me. I left these magazines loaded when I first got them with my Scorpion. This one actually came from the factory with the Scorpion, and basically 2 out of the 4 magazines that I had loaded for it cracked just like that. These 2 magazines cracked on the feed lips after being left loaded. It really sucked, and I was super upset. I since then took the magazines to the range and I beat the living crap out of them. I ran over them with my vehicle. I dropped them on ice. I dropped them on really hard rock. And I literally could not. I even whipped them against a brick wall. I could not get those cracks to get any worse, which was super surprising to me and also very odd because I don't know why just these 2 magazines had that issue. I contacted CZ and they were absolutely willing to help, so it's not CZ's fault. They were willing to help, and they basically told me that a bad batch of these magazines went out, and obviously these mags aren't really like serialized or anything like that, so it was really hard to kind of track them down. I don't blame them for that, but this just goes to show you guys, check your magazines. I've gotten new magazines. These ones, these 2 30 rounders actually specifically, have been loaded in a home defense roll for over about a month and a half now, and I've seen no cracking whatsoever. I have a couple more that I've actually loaded and fired since then, but they were loaded for about 3 weeks as well, again with no cracks. The red taped broken feed lip magazines, they were loaded for about 3 weeks and then they cracked, 2 to 3 weeks. And so pretty much I'm convinced that these are going to be good to go. And now they actually make aftermarket magazines with metal feed lips if you really are worried about it. And the miraculous thing is these busted up magazines actually still fire just fine, which you guys have been seeing in the back roll footage. They fire just fine. So these little magazines have been chugging along with no problems, even with cracked feed lips. I probably wouldn't leave them loaded obviously at this point, but they still work after I beat them up. I haven't cleaned them either since I put them through all hell, so they still work. The gun itself is phenomenal. I've had no issues with it at all. The only malfunctions you guys saw in the first impressions video were caused by a hollow point, which was the ammunition itself. It wasn't the gun. I've ran all different types. I've ran steel. I've ran other full metal jackets, and we're right about the 1,000 round mark. I'm about 100 rounds shy right now, and I've had no malfunctions other than that. Since you guys have seen the Scorpion last, I have took off the X300 Ultra on this side. There's really no way for me to reliably get to that X300 that was on this side here. I just can't reach it. I was trying to activate the switch with my 4 fingers here, and it just wasn't really working that well. And then also when I would switch to left side shooting, it was just in the way. One of the main things that I love about this pistol is how compact and movable it is. It doesn't take up much room at all. So when you're actually shooting it, or if you were to have to move through any sort of a small room or your house or anything like that, it's just so easy to move around. I absolutely love it. I think it's a phenomenal choice for a home defense option. The Parker Mountain machine safeties here, the aftermarket safeties that I put on, have been working out great. Since I've been shooting it though, now since I have quite a bit of a round count through it, I've pretty much decided that I would much rather just have this safety just basically dremeled off or get the safety delete. So what I would recommend to you guys is, if you're gonna get something other than the factory safeties, just get a safety delete right out of the gate. Don't deal with this small one, because I've noticed even when I'm shooting this and I get some recoil pushing the gun downward, this safety likes to dig right into that part of my finger. So recoil simply pushes it down like that. There's not really a way around that, and after I shot like 400 rounds at a time, it was actually drew a little blood right on my finger. So it is uncomfortable. Pretty much the way I get around that now is I purposely hold my hand lower on the gun itself. Not a huge deal, but again, I would just delete this right out of the gate. I wouldn't worry about it at all. The trigger pull on the Scorpion is heavy. There's not really a way around it. It's just kind of heavy from the factory, but it's not too bad. When doing rapid fire, when dumping magazines, it actually is easy to keep rounds on target. I moved it out to like 25 yards and was able to keep all my shots in probably about a 7 or 8 inch group, dumping the magazine at 25 yards. Cleaning the CZ Scorpion field strip, it field strips so easily. You really just take the magazine out, make sure your gun is empty here, and you're actually going to lock the bolt to the rear. So you put it in a little like HK style lock right here. You're going to pop out your pin by the whole lower assembly here. So we're going to take it fully out, and you just simply give it a pull. So your whole trigger assembly with magazine well will come out. From there, you just simply reach under and just pull your bolt out and downward. So basically you pull it out this way and kind of downward in that motion, and your massive ginormous bolt comes out. Field strip is super easy, and that's going to be about it, guys. This CZ Scorpion has been absolutely phenomenal. Besides the magazines, which I was frustrated with, but it has been fixed and I have no issues anymore. I think this is a phenomenal little 9mm package, great for home defense, and I would recommend it to anybody. I think I wouldn't buy it without putting the blade on it or some type of stabilizing brace, obviously, but it's an awesome little package and I would highly recommend it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to click the link down in the description. It'll take you to my Instagram page. Be sure to give it a follow and stay tuned for more great videos to come soon.